Joining me now, former Congressman and retired Admiral Joe Sestak, who entered the U.S. Naval Academy during the Vietnam era, of course later served as Director of Defense Policy on President Clinton's National Security Council. What do you think about this idea of a draft?
Well, I think it's good to have everybody have a piece of skin in their game, but it's not practical. It's not like Vietnam, where we trained our soldiers to be, by and large, very expert rifle shooters. Today, it can take up to a year to train a young enlisted man or woman on the very sophisticated machinery they have to use. We need a return for that investment, not just 1 or 2 years, but 4 years. I believe in national service, where you can join AmeriCorps or the military, 2 years for AmeriCorps, 4 years for the military. That's the way to have the skin in the game. But I do believe that's why sometimes too many people are ready to go to war. This family skin is not in the game.
We are now at 14 years. I thought that we were seeing the end of a period of war, and now we are seeing, it appears to me, both in the way the political class, the media class, the pundit class, and others talk about this, the nation's elites, frankly, talk about this as if we are being drawn back into it, as if we are being led back into further military escalation that might involve U.S. ground troops. How do you feel about that at the end of 14 years of this?
Well, I think it shows part of the problem when you have so few in the leadership in Washington, D.C. who's ever served, or even have the immediate families serve. I think they don't understand that militaries can stop a problem, but we can't fix a problem. I don't care if it was Nazi Germany. It took the Marshall Plan to finally fix them after we stopped them. Or look at Iraq today. We certainly didn't fix it. Look, we went in there, and as Colin Powell said, if you break it, you own it. And ISIS is a splinter group. The second thing I have to say, Chris, is they don't understand the new way of warfare. Look, it's no longer about capacity. How many ships, how many air wings, how many battalions. It's about capability. If we dominate cyberspace and know and can read the other guy's mail, and with a very accurate laser guide munition, put it into this window or that window, it's not how much, it's knowing exactly where to pinpoint a target. That's why the president's strategy up to now, although it's been too slow, has been correct.
But even if that's the case, the first point you made strikes me as the key one here, which is ISIS is itself, of course, a splinter group born out of the maelstrom of horror and violence that was the Iraq Civil War, precipitated by the American invasion, right? And if we were to win, let's say we were to put in ground troops and defeat ISIS, there's, I don't think, any question that a sort of face-to-face military confrontation, American troops would prevail over the sort of somewhat ragtag army of ISIS. But the then what question seems to be erased from the national conversation. What does the next day look like?
Absolutely. What is the end game? It's why I didn't support the Libya intervention. What is the aftermath? What is the end game here? Look, there is no reason to put boots on the ground of heft of companies, battalions, brigades, or divisions. We have perhaps a very unique capability that no one else has. We may want to put a special force there in order to take a laser-guided instrument and pinpoint it at some head of the ISIS and have from the sky an artillery piece, a laser-guided munition, take them out. Warfare has changed so dramatically. And second, you know who's really at the forefront of this fight? The Treasury Department. ISIS has $400 million in cash that they've just plundered from oil drills and taxes. Cutting that down would do so much to squeeze them if we shut off those lifelines. This is a multi-threat and a totally different approach than a totally different war than like Vietnam was.
You just said you oppose the Libya intervention. Given the fact that we have now seen the rise of ISIS in Libya in the wake of the NATO intervention there, should politicians who supported that intervention be paying a political price?
Well, that's the biggest question. It's why I'm actually dressed like this today. I'm walking across Pennsylvania trying to say that where's accountability? Where are people who would say, not just here's what I said, here's what I did or didn't do, and hold me accountable. Accountability is answering for oneself, one's deeds, not one's words. Where are they for who should be held accountable for not finding the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq when we spent over $1 trillion on a national debt? And think about the human capital that was lost or came home impaired. No, before you put our military in somewhere, whether it's Iran or whether it's Syria, try to have by other means a resolution to the issue. The military shouldn't be played with as though you're going to whack-a-mole around the world. Use us to stop that nuclear weapon, but you had better try by all other means to stop it by other types of more peaceful approaches.
Joe Sestak, thank you very much. Good luck with your walk
Thanks for
across
having me.
Pennsylvania.